Hello everyone and welcome to Gamer Mama channel. This one's going to be a little bit of a different game today. This is the last case of Jhon Morley. That's right. A little something hopefully spooky for the October season. So let's go ahead and get in this. And if you like this video, remember to like, share, and of course subscribe. So let's go ahead and check this out. The last day in the hospital. Piercing light of the morning sun stirred Jhon from his restless sleep. For months, strange nightmares had plagued him, and even the strangest sedatives couldn't dull the weird visions that haunted his mind. Another day in the wretched hospital. His wounds still ached, but he felt no regret. Despite the accident, he'd brought the culprit of these ghostly crimes to justice. After all, that the duty of any good private detective? Mm.
The name's Jhon Morley, private detective, and today is a momentous day. After enduring the most exquisite tortures at the hands of those blasted nurses, and being pumped full of enough medicine to fell an ox, today I'm finally free. Who would have thought that the case of the Red Shoes murder would end the way it did? A stormy night, soaked to the skin, wrestling that brainless killer on a rooftop, then a slip, and a 5-story plunge.
It appears you're awake at last. We had considerable difficulty rousing you earlier this morning, so I deemed it best to let you rest a while longer. I bring you good news. The latest test results are favourable, and the doctor has authorised your discharge. You are now officially ready to go. I have placed your belongings on the table. Oh, and a lady stopped by this morning with some clothes from the dry cleaner.
So I'm better now.
Yes, you are much improved. Both your physical and psychological assessments have been satisfactory, and there are no impediments to your returning to your normal life.
A woman brought my clothes from the dry cleaner. Was it Penny?
I couldn't say. She arrived quite early, before my shift began. I've placed the garments in the wardrobe to keep them from getting wrinkled.
My belongings? I thought everything was already in the room.
There are a few valuables and some coins we kept for safekeeping. They are in the box on the table.
I've been having nightmares.
The doctor has prescribed some medication that should help address any residual effects. This should assist in alleviating your nightmares. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have other patients to attend to. I wish you all the best.
Open the case files to view character information and clues. Medical discharge patient number 5567, room 27, February 3rd, 1945. Discharge resolution report attending Dr. A. Forner. Final review and conclusions. The patient has demonstrated satisfactory improvement in all preoperative objectives. The surgical procedure conducted under protocol ETD-03 has been deemed successful in all respects. Upon completion of final tests and provided that the patient reports of feeling physically and mentally prepared, medical discharge is advised. No, no post-operative complications are anticipated at this time. Continued observation during recovery is recommended to ensure patient stability.
Story of my life. That's me, the
Jhon
bloodhound
Morley,
Morley.
private detective, 26B Hawthorne Street, London.
It's nearly noon. I must have lost track of time in those blasted nightmares. I better get dressed. The hospital gown that ties in the back doesn't exactly scream professional. These do a fine job of hiding it. Looks brand new. Well-structured shoulders, nicely padded. I should get myself a pair of derbies. Or brogues. They're much more comfortable. Besides, if I slipped, it was because of those damned hard soles. Blimey, what a fool I took onto that rain-soaked pavement. And to top it off, with that downpour, I ruined my best suit. But, well, that's all water under the bridge now, quite literally. I'm not ready to leave just yet.
Okay.
Trench coat and fedora hat. Every detective's must have.
Okay, just another copy of the discharge. I'm not sure what I need. I've looked at everything. Final reviews and conclusions, which I just read. Okay, what is going on? Can't turn that over. Hold every. Um, okay. Why can't I leave?
This note's from Penny, my secretary.
John, I'm
She must
awfully
have written
sorry,
here a
but
few
I
days
just
ago
can't
while I was
keep
still under
going on like
probation.
this. You've been laid up in the hospital for ages, and I've been left skit with no wages coming in for months now. Before with the state you were in, I couldn't bring myself to say anything. I thought it best to let you get better in peace. But the other day, Dr. Fern arranged and said they were finally going to let you out. So I figured it was time to tell you. I haven't been to the office in a month. And believe me, I'll miss Hawthorne Street and that old moldy brick building of ours. But I've got to move on, and you know even better than before the accident, you still owe me 3 months' pay. Pete and I are planning to get married, and I need some stability. I hope you understand I've left my key under the doormat. I paid the water electric bills, so they are in your hands now. Goodbye, Jhon. I wish you all the luck in the world. P.S. A few days ago, an older woman came by asking for you. I told her you might be back at the office this afternoon. She seems quite eager to have a word with you. Penny.
Damn it, Penny. I don't blame her, though. I'm a right mess. I've managed to lose the only two things that kept me grounded. Her sound advice, always spot on, and the faint hope that she might dump Peter and give me a chance. I better hurry up. Just like Penny says in her note, I might have a new client this afternoon. And with the way things are going, I can't afford to let that slip away. All right, let's get moving. Today's the first day of the rest of my life.
At least back to the street in the cold comforts of foggy old London. The chimneys filled the air with the familiar tang of coal dust, while the rhythmic hum of the small industries in Westchapel, Stephanie, and Southwark ranged in his ears like a symphony. Soon he'd be seated in the cluttered, dusty office once more, ready for the next case, perhaps finishing off some forgotten bottle of whiskey tucked away in a drawer, and mourning the irreplaceable loss of his assistant Penny.
Back again. Feels like stepping into a forgotten paradise. Everything's got that same old charm, and yet feels oddly new. This hospital stint's given me a bit of a new outlook. Maybe I'll take it a shade easier from now on, sticking to cases that don't demand a trip to the morgue.
Oh, such an old, dingy office.
Here they are, Penny's keys, just like it says in her note. Even the coppers missed it. The slant on the letter E. That's what gave away the typist in the black letters case. My files. Cases, clients, debts. Too many debts. Far too many. This case is worth its weight in gold. Everything you need for a portable lab. Penny's desk. I ought to give her a ring and try to sweet talk her into coming back. If this new client brings in some decent dough, the murder weapon from the cadaver collector case. Nasty business, that one. The case of the Red Shoes murder. One of the most complicated I've faced. Finally. Case closed. My desk, strangely tidy. Normally it's buried under papers, notes, bits of evidence. Penny must have wanted to leave everything spick and span before she walked out on me. Another one of my cards. But this one has my last name circled. The drawer. It's locked. But there doesn't seem to be a keyhole. Amazing how this little gadget can reveal the devil in the details.
Letters are quite. Files are open.
This one's a favorite. The jealous lover solved everything with a few blows from an ashtray. Brutal, but effective.
Hmm. Trying to figure out what's going on with this card. There's something I am missing.
The umbrella with a bullet hole. Souvenir from the marksman case. Nearly lost my hat on that one. So this is Peter. That smug grin's got "Punch Me" written all over it.
Hmm. Not sure. Can't move the chair. Is there a way to crouch down? Trying to figure this out. Don't know why the last name is circled. There's nothing on the back of this. See, the V is on. Not sure what is going on. Okay. Why am I in here? Oh, it's so dingy and dark. What is that on the floor? I can't pick anything up. Can't move anything. Oh. Okay. What if Morley?
The Scarlet Page. I trust Penny didn't go snooping through my things while I was away. Oh, my apologies, madam. Didn't hear you come in. I was a bit distracted.
Good afternoon, Mr. Morley. I trust your assistant informed you of our visit as promised.
My apologies. I was rather engrossed and didn't notice your arrival. To whom do I owe the honour of this meeting?
Lady Margaret Fordside, the 4th Countess of Bloomsbury.
Lady Margaret, could you tell me what brings you here today? How can I assist you?
I shall endeavour to be as candid as possible. 20 years ago, when my daughter was just 18, she was brutally murdered. It happened at our family estate, Bloomsbury Manor. Someone slipped into the house unnoticed, and upon reaching her room, delivered 5 fatal stab wounds to her chest, lungs, and heart. The police, eager to close the case, hastily blamed and condemned 2 violent thieves who clearly had nothing to do with her death. The investigation was closed, and justice was never served. I am prepared to offer you £30,000 if you take on this case, and a further £30,000 if you can solve it and bring the true killer to light. Tell me, Mr. Morley, will you accept this case?
I understand your distress, Lady Forsyte. But before I commit to anything, might I trouble you with a few questions?
By all means, Mr. Morley. Ask whatever you must.
A case that's been cold for 20 years. You certainly don't make it easy for me, Lady Margaret. What made you decide to seek out a detective now?
For over 2 decades, I've fought tirelessly to have the case reopened, to prove that the real murderer escaped justice, but all in vain. Neither solicitors nor well-meaning police friends, nor even journalists hungry for a dark story have managed to uncover anything. Then one day, I read about your success in solving the case of the Red Shoes killer. Regrettably, I also learned of the unfortunate incident that left you hospitalized with grievous injuries. On the advice of your secretary, Miss Penny, I waited patiently for your recovery. And now, here I am.
Tell me about the men the police arrested. Why are you so certain they weren't guilty?
2 days after the murder, the police arrested a pair of violent thieves who were terrorizing the county at the time. Though they swore their innocence in my daughter Elodie's death, their criminal record completely undermined their defense. Seizing the opportunity, the police locked them away for their other crimes, and the case was closed. But what has always struck me as suspicious is that nothing was stolen on the night my Elodie was killed. If those thieves were truly the culprits, why would they murder her and then leave without taking a single piece of silver? It doesn't add up, Mr. Morley.
Tell me about Bloomsbury Manor. Do you still reside there?
After Elodie's death, I abandoned the estate. I couldn't bear to remain there, to live within those walls. Even now, when I visit the manor, it still feels as though I can hear her footsteps echoing through the halls, her voice humming that old melody, the delusions of an old woman who has mourned her daughter for far too long, Mr. Morley. No mother should ever have to bury her child. Should you accept the case, Bloomsbury Manor would likely be the best place to begin the investigation. I shall not impede your work, as I now reside at Bedford Square, in the heart of the city.
Tell me, were there any witnesses? Did anyone see or hear anything?
It happened at midnight. The house was practically empty at the time, with only a few servants and a guest who was sleeping in the west wing. I was the only one who might have heard something, as my room was next to hers. Unfortunately, I had taken a sleeping draught and fell into a deep slumber. It is a decision I shall regret for the rest of my days.
Well, I believe I have all the information I need to get started. I accept the case and will begin the investigation immediately.
I'm pleased to hear that. My butler will bring you the £30,000 tomorrow morning. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have matters to attend to. Once you uncover the culprit, contact me at once, and I shall promptly deliver the remaining £30,000. Please, Mr. Morley, unravel this harrowing mystery that has tormented me for so long.
Hmm. The visit from Countess Margaret Forsyth was just what John needed, a case with all the right ingredients to stir the detective instincts. An unsolved murder for 20 years ago, abandoned by the police in their incompetence, and a generous reward waiting at the end. What more could a man want on his first day back? The journey to Bloomer Manor passed without incident through the rough, neglected road, ravaged by years of rain and wind, made for an uncomfortable ride. He arrived under the cover of night. The place was quiet, like the ruins of an old tomb, forgotten and forsaken.
As I made my way through the dense forest path, a haunting silence enveloped the air. It was as though the very night of the crime still lingered here, shrouded in an eerie calm. The manor stood before me, its facade as inscrutable as the shadows that danced in the moonlight. Every step I took felt like a step deeper into the heart of a mystery that refused to be forgotten. Not a sound. The stillness feels heavy, like it's hiding something.
Wasteland Asylum, a place of hope and healing. At Wasteland Asylum, we believe that the path to recovery begins with compassion, understanding the most advanced techniques of mental health care. Our institution offers a tranquil haven for those seeking respite from the trials of the mind. Western Society of Fine Arts, 15th February of 1923. Your Lord, Ladyship, I write to you on behalf of the Western Society of Fine Arts regarding the exhibition currently on display of our gallery, which features several works by your daughter, Miss Elodie Forsyth. While we fully appreciate the remarkable talent and artistry evident in her work, it is with great regret that we must inform you of a matter of concern. Several of the Society's patrons, particularly among those more sensitive members of our community, have found Miss Forsyth's paintings to be of a highly disturbing nature. We have received numerous complaints with mothers remarking that the article has occurred distress to her children, and some ladies report feeling of unease. There is a growing sentiment that the piece is unsuitable for public expedition, yep, particularly in a space frequented by a young and impressionable mind. It is within the ultimate respect and consideration that we kindly request your ladyship to arrange for the removal of Miss Forsyth's paintings from the current display. We understand that it may cause disappointment, but we feel it is necessary to preserve the decorum and sensibilities of our gallery's visitors. We would be honored to work with you in finding a more appropriate venue to exhibit Miss Ford's art where her unique vision can be appreciated by a more discerning and prepared audience. We trust you will understand our portion in this delicate matter, our position in this delicate matter, and we look forward to hearing from you at your earliest convenience. With the deepest respect, yours faithfully, Sir Arthur Wesley, Secretary to Western Society of Fine Arts.
It seems Elodie had a passion for art, but her style wasn't exactly well received. Disturbing from the looks of it. The door's chained up with a padlock. Looks like I'll need to find the key. A blue moon, fitting for a place haunted by its own secrets. Looks like the Countess left this for me. It could be useful for getting around the place.
To all these turn. Follow the trail of green lights and to investigate past events. Sir,
Looks like this is the Fordside family book, showing some of their ancestors.
Sir Ultric Forside. Miss Lady, I would like kindly ask that once the midday service is complete, you grant me a few moments of your time in the library. Jhon Morley, your housekeeper.
So, The housekeeper left a note for the Countess, asking her to meet here on the day of the murder. I wonder what truly happened during that encounter. Very well. Let's piece the events together, step by step. Lipstick stains. Same shade the Countess wore when she visited my office. An empty envelope. The housekeeper's cup is still here. Tea spilled across the table. She never got to drink it. Looks like someone arranged tea in the library that day. Two chairs. One of them knocked over. It seems they met here. But something went wrong during the conversation.
I am very angry. After all these years of service, this is how you repay me? Walking away
I'm sorry, madam, but the situation has become unbearable. My bags are already packed.
The Countess threw the housekeeper out in a fit of rage. In her haste, the housekeeper forgot one of her bags. What was it that unsettled the housekeeper enough to abandon her post so suddenly? Lady Fortside, still seething, burned something in the fireplace.
I have reached a decision thought it weighs heavily upon my heart, Miss Lady. I have reached a decision thought it weighed heavily upon my heart to sever the ties that have long bound me to this household. Since the reign of King William IV, my family has served Bloomsbury with the unwavering loyalty and steadfastness marked by this discretion and faithful execution of our duties. However, there are limits to all things, and of late this house has been frequented by certain individuals whose presence is wholly at odds with the principles to which my lineage is so devoted. It is no coincidence that our family motto is obliquous, signifying something offered or concentrated. We're vassals of an ideal, these custodians of the most deep-rooted traditions and the bastions of the internal values of our nation. The house has forsaken all of us, and you will know the reason why. Please do not concern yourself. I too understand why you have allowed this. Rest assured I do not judge you harshly. just as I hope you will understand my reasons. As for family, says Fioste. Best wishes. Jhon Morley, housekeeper of Bloomsbury Manor.
The housekeeper resigned. Seems something, or someone, troubled her greatly. Enough to break the long-standing family tradition tying her to this place. A globe resting in a beautiful wooden stand.
So, Sir Altric Forsyth, an astronomer romantic who saw the stars magnify his fairness in 1842 during the total eclipse. He swore that the diamond ring around the moon was the spirit of his wife Eleanor, who had died giving birth. From the moment on his telescope never ceased to aim at the sun, seeking to capture an eternal moment. A cheerful scar on her cheek, hands adorned by the iron, and Montebelcova aimed the roar of Crimson canyons. Her civil medical kit, now stained with gunpowder and memory, had not only wounds but the hidden truth behind a colonial's death. They say their sword protects a secret, and yet the oath still lingers within these walls. A man with a prominent nose as a wandering soul whose steps traced past where only blank maps had once lain. Christopher to Queen Victoria has devoted his life to naming the unamicable Georges that allowed expeditions, rivers that erased borders, and villages who seem only remember his globe now cracked by the time and the salt of 1,000 seas. Bears between his mortis, the scars of a man who preferred to get lost rather than return. Lady Essol Forsyth, 1907-1912, a pianist with ethereal hands and drowsed heart after losing her beloved in the weak wreck of the SS Meridian. Her nocturnes became unnamed requiems. Her final exposition, Algae and Blue, rests on the ebony music stand in the library. Its notes sketch waves that forever kiss the shore as it passes echo sounds of a ring ever given. So wait a minute. So he must face. She faces the music stand. She faces that. He faces. Wait a minute. He faces. He faces that. And the door opens. Talk about a weird key.
This must have been some sort of private study for the Countess. Lady Margaret and a young woman. I suppose it's Elodie. They look happy. It was undoubtedly a better time. Elodie was committed to a psychiatric facility, but she supposedly recovered from whatever ailed her.
Lady Margaret Forsyth, I am writing to you as the attending physician of Ward 2 to provide an update on your daughter Elodie's progress. It is with a great pleasure that I report her notable improvement. Elodie now confides that she no longer experiences dark thoughts. Most importantly, the nightmares have subsided, and she has begun to communicate more amicably with her fellow patients, a crucial step in her recovery. Elodie has also asked me to relay a request. She would like you to bring her amber necklace when you visit this Sunday. I will continue to keep you informed of her progress. Respectfully, Dr. Mulder, Chief Psychiatrist from Marshall Asylum.
This looks like the key to the main hall. Could be my way into the heart of the house.
Nothing more in here? On to the next. Okay.
That cold, old house had begun to give up its secrets. For a fleeting moment, I thought I heard the voice of a young woman, softly humming a tune. And then it hit me, clear as a gunshot in the dark. A ghost from the past was ready to speak. A tale of love and dread. A mystery begging to be solved.
Last case for Jhon Morley. Thanks for playing our demo. We really appreciate you taking the time to try it out. Your feedback and support helps keep improving. If you enjoy the experience, we leave a quick comment which added gently makes a difference for our small team. See you in the full release. This will definitely be a game I will definitely be looking forward to playing. And you may see the rest of this one. This one I'm really intrigued on. So, this is Gamer Mama, and we just finished the demo of the last case of Jhon Morley. Really great game. I wish I could love to see more. If you like this channel, like, share, subscribe. And sorry this one was such a short. And hopefully this game comes out soon. And maybe you will definitely see this one again. Thank you for watching and have a great one.